Hi, my name is Scott Patchin, and this is video 4 of an 8-part series of what I'm calling the People-Centered Mastery Series. And in it, I cover conversations people-centered leaders have to master. And today, I want to talk about something I call my TRU Time, and really just put some context on this. The concept really I first heard about was from Covey when he talked about sharpening the saw. And in it, he was advising leaders to get away and just kind of reset their brain and refresh themselves. Most recently, a guy named Gino Wickman, through something called the Entrepreneurial Operating System, or EOS, he introduced it as a clarity break, and he and Renee Bohr actually did a great job kind of diving into it. And there's a book called How to Be a Great Boss. So if you want to hear about, kind of the clarity break and what they envisioned, certainly grab that book because it's really good. But for today, I want to kind of talk through my TRU Time, and I want to just share kind of the form I use and why I do certain things, and not because I want you to copy it, because one is I really want to convince you that this is probably the most important hour or 2 hours you're going to spend of your time every week. And if you do that at least 50 weeks a year, think that's 50 to 100 hours of time where you're resetting your brain. And I think all of us can benefit from that, not just me. So let me talk through kind of the context of this, at least in terms of I do it. The idea behind this is that you get away from all your distractions and you just center yourself. You think through some things. You kind of think about some things maybe you haven't made a decision on. Think about some of the key people that are important to you. Think about some of the key things you should be doing. Maybe just spend some time kind of advancing an idea that you just haven't had time to flush out. And the way mine works, I take it every week, and truthfully, I'm probably only about 60 to 70% accurate in doing that, and I don't get it every week, unfortunately, but I'm working at it. And you get away from the office. For me, I head down in my car and I actually go to a place that I find super relaxing, which I live near the shores of Lake Michigan, so I can go out to our state park and I can sit there, look at the water, and the people down there are usually relaxed, and it kind of rubs off on you. So that's what my TRU Time looks like. And let me walk through the questions. I start out with these things I call centering questions, and they're just things that help me think about the things that are really important to me. If you have a faith practice, if you have your families, or if you have a spouse, just things that you're going, just for you to simply ask yourself a question to say, how are you doing? And in my case, I use something called did I do my best? And that was actually introduced to me. There's a famous coach called Marshall Goldsmith, and in a book called Triggers, he actually has all of the leaders that he coaches practice this on a daily basis. And it's just a set of questions to help them just slow down for a few minutes to think about what's important and make sure that they're paying attention to the most important things. So those are my centering questions, and I run through those. And then the pulse question is just me because as a leader, when you get really busy, a couple things get in your way. One is your confidence goes down. Things happen during the week that shoot your confidence, and it all happens to all of us. And if I'm not confident, I'm not productive, and I'm not leading well, and that goes for you too. And I coached enough leaders, and when you get into a room and you make it safe, you'd be surprised how many people just are feeling like a fake, or feeling like they should be smarter or faster or better than they are, and that's that confidence building. The second thing is, what am I procrastinating on? And it's just things that are getting in the way that I either got to dump it or do it. And then finally, the last question, this is also coming from Marshall Goldsmith's book, and he just says, am I willing to do something about it? I mean, if I'm not, then don't worry, then I got to let it go. But if there's something that's bothering me that I got to do something about, then let's do it. And the next thing, and this is part of the Entrepreneurial Operating System, a guy named Vern Harnish actually, and actually we trace it back to Stephen Covey, but a lot of people have used this, but these are the big things I'm working on. So are they on track or off track, and what's my next? And then the other thing, is there any to-dos, any things that are I'm kind of on my to-do list that I haven't gotten after? And then finally, I just have a blank slate where I'm trying to think through something big, and it's that problem solving or decision making time for me. And usually I come in with I actually keep a folder of things that I'm kind of filing. And then I spend most of my time doing this. So if you think about an hour, I probably spend the checking questions take me 5 minutes, the rocks take me 5 minutes. And then a lot of it's problem solving and decision making. It could be something related to above that's bugging me. And then finally, I do some closing questions. I try to wrap it up, and this kind of goes back to a core belief I have that gratitude's important. So who do I need to say thank you to? Of all the things, what do I need to let go of? Some of my EOS mentors, I keep hearing them say this term, mind trash. We use a lot of, and it's just those things that are just eating up your brain that you just need to let go of and kick it out, create space for other stuff. And then finally, who do I need to call? And this is kind of back to a lot of, not last but not least, but staying connected with friends and people you haven't talked to in a while. And it's just kind of my reminder of someone I haven't talked to this week. And again, if I do this 50 weeks a year and it results in 100 phone calls, you'd be surprised how far that goes to keeping your network of friends. So that's my TRU Time. That's the form. It's downloadable, and I guess I'd leave you with I call it my people-centered mantra, which is listen, lead, and repeat often.